All right, I believe we're live. Just gonna hold on. I'm gonna listen back to my stream, make sure it sounds fine. Yep. All right, I think we're good. We're gonna get to 8,000 EV encounters today. Streaming a little earlier than I usually do. But I don't know. I just felt like doing a little bit of an earlier stream. I woke up a little earlier today, so I figured I would stream a little earlier. Yeah. We're gonna get to 8,000. Getting really close to odds. Next stream, after this one, we will get either 2 or past odds, assuming that we don't get the shiny in this stream. But yeah. I have my counter up. I'm about ready to go. Hopefully get some people in chat, you know, etc., etc. I'm gonna, get my YouTube videos playing because I'm a little iPad kid. And we're gonna get started without much further delay. So starting from 7,500 EV encounters, we're gonna go until EV shines or until about 8,000 encounters, whichever one comes first. Sorry, my chair's a little squeaky. And we're doing this. I will say I do not possess confidence that, what's it called? The shiny is gonna pop up this stream. I do not have that hunch that I usually do, but granted, my hunch has always been wrong, so I guess we'll see. Oh, I just realized I was doing those in normal speed the entire time. That's fine. I didn't even realize. I was just so dialed, I didn't even speed up my game. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna talk too much until we get some people in here, because I don't really think anybody watches these VODs anyways. So, probably just gonna be me for right now. Oh, oops. Oh, dude, I'm like messing up my resets like crazy right now. So bogus. Oh, nope. Clearly I can't fucking count. Bruh. Oh, shit. Where are you? Over a quarter of the way to our first 100. I'm really hoping we get EV this stream. The last two shinies I got were on my morning streams as opposed to my night streams, so you know, could happen. Could very well happen. But like I said, I'm still under the impression that this EV is going to be over odds. Hopefully not by a crazy amount, but yeah. Alright, through our first 40 of the stream. Pretty solid pace so far. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good with type effectivenesses, but low-key forgot that ice does not resist itself. I forget that you can hit ice types for neutral damage with an ice move. I guess kind of makes sense. You can break an icicle with an icicle. We're really getting up there, Jesus. In terms of encounters. This is like close to unprecedented territories. This is probably... Is this the most encounters I've ever done for a hunt? It's close. Because I usually hunt in the newer games, so I never have to do this many encounters for a single hunt. I don't think I've ever hit 5 digits for a single hunt. And that might happen. Alright, 60M for the stream. Still nobody in chat yet, but you know, we'll get there eventually. Sometimes it takes a bit, because also I'm streaming a little earlier than usual, which might have an impact, I know. Oh, what's up, Alex? Just as I was saying, I didn't see anybody in chat yet. What's up? We're going to 8,000 in this stream, Alex. I know you said yesterday that you were asking if we would go to 8,000, which I said no, but now we are. Now we're actually going to get to 8,000. I think my counter's updating really quickly today. Usually there's like a fucking like 3-second delay before the number actually pops up on stream, but like it's happening pretty much as soon as I update it. I think the idea that we're over 3/4 of the way to 10,000 encounters is quite interesting. I don't think I've ever had to do this many encounters for any shiny ever, because I don't normally hunt in the older games with the, you know, decreased odds. But we're changing that. Alright, 75, 75. 3/4 of the way through our first 100 of the stream. We're getting somewhere. 2579. I see that you sent an image in Discord, Alex. Let me check it out real quick. Oh, you sent like the pseudo legends in Tyranitar. That's cool. Tyranitar's pretty cool. I used to not really big fan of Tyranitar in the minute. Grew on me. I'm glad you streamed early because I have to go visit my friend's house today at 12. You live in California, right? So it's like 9-ish for you. Yeah, I don't usually stream this early, but I was feeling like an earlier stream today. Glad it worked out for you. What worked out for me is that, you know, if the Eevee would, you know, shine, that would work out pretty well for me. Good news is that we're already almost at 7,600 encounters. I feel like took like no time. That reset was a little fast. I gotta be careful. All right, 7590. Sorry, I have Pokemon music stuck in my head. There's so much good Pokemon music. I think Sinnoh especially has some of the best Pokemon music. Which is a bash on the Sinnoh. I mean, Platinum's a decent game. I feel like Diamond and Platinum had room for improvement. But as much as I bash those games, I do think that the music in those games is pretty up there. There's not a lot of games that do it better. What do I think of the Team Rocket admins in Heartgold? I don't remember them too well because again I haven't played through the entirety of Heartgold in a couple years, and I don't remember the story that well. I don't remember what Pokemon they had or even what they looked like, to be honest. I just remember I really liked Heartgold when I played through it on my physical cartridge. And this was a game that was challenging, but simultaneously had some forgiving aspects. Enough for me to want to do a shiny only run. Like, the starter hunt is, you know, more forgiving than most, if not all, the games. Actually, I would say it's more forgiving than all the games. You get the free Gyarados, but, you know, the rest of it's unforgiving. Sorry, I went off on a little tangent. I don't really know much about the Team Rocket admins in this game because I don't remember them that well because I haven't played this game in a while. Past 7600, by the way. I don't know if I said that out loud. I mean, you can see it. I don't. I see what you sent me on Discord, Alex. Yeah, I saw. Said it before you even sent that message. Yeah, I think the Pokemon in Gen 4 are really good. I like pretty much everything about Gen 4. I just think even even Team Plasma I think has like a decent backstory. I just feel like some aspects of Gen 4 are a little boring. Like playing the game at least. But there are certain parts of the game that I find boring. Oh, oops. 76-20. Getting up there. Oh. One thing I will say is I do wish that this is a complete random side tangent. I wish that, because I got these as shinies, I wish it would show them as shinies in the decks. But whatever. Same thing here. Bleh. I almost reset out of habit, by the way, on that one. It wouldn't have been shiny anyway, so I guess I wouldn't have missed anything. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do not have faith that Eevee is going to shine this stream. I do not have a good feeling. At this point, I'm like, practically, I'm fully convinced that this is going over odds. I mean, I don't have that many encounters left before it gets there. Do I like Mars's Perugly? Do I like Jupiter's Skuntank? And do you like Saturn's Toxicroak? I always had trauma from Mars's Perugly, because that thing was so unnecessarily fast and strong, especially at the stage in the game where you had to fight it. It was, and it's really strong. It's a scary ass Pokemon early game, specifically the first ever battle you do with Mars. After that, it's just kind of whatever. Perugly's whatever, but early game when you have to fight her, it's really scary. Jupiter Skuntank is whatever. I mean, you get a little bit of time to, make a decent team before you get to Jupiter, so you have things to prepare for the Skuntank, so it's not as bad. And Saturn's Toxicroak is cool. I like Toxicroak. But again, it's not very threatening. If you have a Psychic or Ground type move, you'll be chilling. Mars's Perugly specifically is the scariest in that one battle at the very beginning of the game, because Perugly's base stats are much higher than pretty much any Pokemon you can get at that point in the game, without, crazily over-leveling. The Perugly could be worse, though, I will say. Like, if you choose Chimchar specifically as your starter, like, that Perugly could be worse. But if you don't, then you're in for a decent battle. Because you low-key need some sort of fighting type to deal with that Perugly efficiently. No, I haven't watched any of the Pokemon anime. I mean, I think I watched like a little bit of one of the seasons, but no. I don't remember, like, the couple episodes that I think I started watching, I don't remember at all. I haven't really watched the Pokemon anime. It's like the one thing about Pokemon that I haven't, like, really dipped my toes into. All my knowledge strictly comes from the games. Alright, almost at our first 150. A couple more EVs and we'll be there. Alright. Already almost a third into our total encounters for the stream. We're about to have another instance of where the encounter number is just numbers counting down. 7654. Ugh. It always made no sense to me how, but the fact that Kalos was the region that that introduced Mega Evolution, there's like almost no native Kalos Pokemon that have Megas prior to ZA. I specify prior to ZA because a lot of Kalos Pokemon got Megas in ZA, but I mean specifically in Gen 6 when Megas were introduced. Like I'm not even sure if any Gen 6 Pokemon got Megas at that time. But they gave so many to Hoenn Pokemon. Which I thought was so strange. The Boomerang is like Marowak's signature move, isn't it? Even in the games. Ugh. Just watch some dude catch a shiny Zapdos first try with a quick ball, bro. Are we serious? Getting closer to 7,700. That was the worst feeling when the encounters feel useless. Because it's like, I've convinced myself so hard that like this is gonna go over odds at this point that like these next 500 or so, 400 or 500 or so encounters from now just feel useless, even though they're not, because you know they're obviously, even by my logic, they're getting me into territory where I will eventually see a shiny, but it's demoralizing feeling like you know you're not gonna get anything for a bit. But I mean, if I push past this and I get to like, you know, odds or above, I think I'll start to, you know, get a little bit of a morale boost. So I just gotta, you know, push past this. I almost forgot what shiny golem looked like. It's actually pretty cool. I could have potentially had one of those. me go. Free me, Bill. Free me from selecting so many EVs. Free me, Bill. Oh, wow, big yawn, Jesus. Excuse me for the yawning, Jesus. One thing that took me forever to realize is that apparently rock types get a 1.5x special defense boost in sandstorms. And I did not find that out until like less than a year ago. Like, I always wondered why people used Tyranitar in PvP despite how much weaknesses it had. And it's because it's so tanky that like the weaknesses that it has for the most part it can handle because of the buff it gets from Sandstorm. Like even like a really powerful Aura Sphere, which is 4x effective, a Tyranitar can tank that because of the Sandstorm buff. However, a physical fighting type move from a really powerful Pokemon, yeah, probably not. That's why you train your Tyranitar in its defense and its health. And maybe put the rest in attack, because, you know, the special defense will do the rest. You should have like a really bulky Tyranitar. Like I remember I used to run a Tyranitar with like a really bulky set. I think it had like a careful nature, which is higher special defense, lower special attack. And then I maxed out its health and defense. Because the sandstorm buff that Tyranitar gets, I figured that it wasn't, you know, wasn't fully necessary to train it in special defense since the sandstorm was already going to kind of help it in that region. So I just invested in its other defenses, and it ended up being so bulky. And then to compensate for its attack, I just gave it Dragon Dance. And I ran like Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Crunch on it, and it was really good. That's how I grew to like Tyranitar, because I always stayed away from it because it had so many weaknesses, but then once I realized how tanky. And then I ran Weakness Policy on it as well. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I ran Weakness Policy on it. So if, you know, my opponent would try to abuse one of Tyranitar's several weaknesses, which, you know, it has several of them, I would get a boost from it. And on top of Dragon Dance, it was just crazy. The only downside was that Tyranitar is just a little too slow to the point where, like, you kind of need to get 2 Dragon Dances off for it to be faster than most things. So I think if I redrafted the set, I would maybe give it like a Jolly Nature and give it higher speed EVs so that it could be faster than most things. I probably would just sacrifice some of its health stat or something. I don't know. It was a cool set though. Sorry, that was really random. I just needed to find something to talk about. Past 7,700, by the way, I forgot to mention that. Oh, man. Sorry, I just zoned out really bad. Oh, I can't type. Sorry about that. There we go. Oh, oops. Sorry, I just got really into the video I was watching. Sorry I haven't been talking. I really am like a fucking iPad kid, dude. I'm watching a small ant play Pokemon like a roguelike. I barely even know what a roguelike is, but it's a very interesting video. Oh, oops. Don't want to name it until it's shiny. We're at 77.25. Close to the halfway point of the stream already. I feel like I haven't even been streaming that long. But I mean I check the end time of my streams usually, and it ends at about the same time. Usually ends within 5 to 10 minutes of 2.5 hours pretty consistently every time I do 500 encounters, so. Oh, excuse me. How many EVs does it take? Too many, apparently. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. I always feel so rude when I yawn so loudly. Seven, 7, 3, 3. Wow, dude. I don't know why I'm yawning so bad. I got good sleep today. Maybe I'm just getting bored of this EV. That's probably it. Whatever. Oh my goodness, dude. We're almost at the halfway point. Be 250 in, we'll have 250 left, and about 5 more EVs. Almost 4 more, because we're about to check this one. That was not right. Ever do a shiny hunt so bad you start to gain a disdain for the Pokemon? Not really. To be fair, I still haven't even hit odds yet, so I'm not sure if I can really say that. But I'm getting mildly annoyed with EV. I'm more so just annoyed that of all the hunts that could have, you know, I got under odds with the last two. Like, I wish like this one went, you know, to 2,000 or 3,000 encounters, maybe. Like, yeah. Why did this have to be the one where like I actually, you know, got like a normal amount of encounters for and didn't go under odds for? Encounters on this one are so much slower. Oh, man. Ugh. Can't even type. The thing is, my counter for some reason is updating so much faster than it usually does. So it's like highlighting all my mistakes I'm making. Which is annoying, but fair. Oh, God bless me. growing closer to 7,800. I think the idea that I've done 100 encounters 78 times is pretty crazy. Oh wow, that was insane, yawn. We're almost at the lucky number. Like 9 more EVs will be there. Number's already looking pretty lucky now, but if we get a 4th 7, it'll be like ultra lucky. Guaranteed shiny on that number. I never told you. You guaranteed get a shiny on encounter number 7,777. Just wait for it. If you don't believe me, just wait. Counter 7,777 is a guaranteed shiny every time. It's the lucky number. It has to be. Alright guys, 2 more EVs and it'll be the shiny when you're ready. You don't believe me yet, just wait for it. Just wait. Alright, here it is guys. It's gonna be the shiny right now. It's gonna be the shiny right now. Number 7777. It's gonna be the shiny right now. Okay. Okay, so maybe I lied. It was worth trying, you know. I'm trying to clip farm because you know if I got lucky on that encounter, it would have been a pretty cool clip. Would have been a pretty cool clip. At least we're almost at 7,800. And therefore, closer to 8,000. Which is a, you know, pretty decent milestone. I feel another sneeze coming. Never mind, it went away. Okay. God damn it. I hate when that happens. I hate that feeling of like being like about like I don't even know how to describe it. Feeling like you're about to sneeze and then you don't. I hate that feeling. Fucking said that sentence like I was Yoda. We're now 400 away from odds, 400 encounters away. We've come all this way. How much progress we've made. I watched like a shiny hunting video the other day that was like, sometimes it's not even about, you know, getting the shiny, it's about the journey to get there. And like, to be fair, if I had gotten this EV in like 1,000 or 2,000 encounters, I probably would have been very happy, of course, but there's also some sort of worth to the shiny taking longer. Like, it's going to, this will feel the sweetest. This will be the sweetest victory of any of the shinies I have gotten, and I mean, granted, I don't know how the other shiny hunts are going to go, but this will be a very hard one to top in terms of my reaction and the satisfaction I will get once this EV pops up. Given how long the resets are, given how many resets I've had to do. All that. And that was number 7,800. It also wasn't the shiny. So we got 200 left for this stream. 200 EVs left. Sorry, there's like sun shining on my phone, which is where I'm tracking my counts. I can't even see the fucking numbers on my keyboard. My phone's like little keyboard, I think that's what that's what I call it. Okay. We're at far more than 78 encounters. We passed that a while ago. I love how it took me a total of 5 streams to get 2 shinies. And we are now like almost 20 streams in just for this one EV. Shows you how much your RNG and your luck can really fluctuate. Oh man. I'm getting so fatigued with this hunt. I know I said something like a couple streams ago or something like that, where I was like, it just hunting hunts at a certain point just kind of plateau. Your mood definitely can fluctuate with these. Like right now, I'm mentally fatigued from this hunt. Like it's one of those like yesterday I felt like I was so close and I felt like the EV was right around the corner. And today I'm like kind of having like one of those like realizations that like it very well could not be right around the corner. Like it's very possible I've only done half the work, if that. Which, if that's the case, that'd be fucking demoralizing. Thing is, I won't know until I get to Eevee. So I gotta just not think about it. Just keep chugging along. And just, trust the process, trust that it will, eventually show up. Should I close my eyes and reset on this Eevee? Have a really cool shiny fail? I didn't. It was not shiny. I'm not gonna do that. Because again, I expressed, if I ever did something like that where like I close my eyes and just reset on one Eevee, my luck would be that it would happen to be the shiny. Oh boy. So much Pokemon music is so good. little over 150 away from 8,000. One what I do want to try, assuming I get the tools to do so, which I think I can, is the Mew hunt in the Gen 3 games. Like you need like a specific item or you need to trigger some sort of like flag to get the event for it, but on an emulator that should be pretty easy. Alright, 7850. We're 150 away now from 8,000. Which is, yeah, that's what I'm gonna end this stream, probably. Not probably, I will end the stream when I get to 8,000. Oh. I accidentally called my in-game mother. It'll be nice when one of these days I won't have to do the full 500 encounters. Oh man, this is getting so exhausting. Just sit here for 2.5 hours and just get nothing. Excuse me. Excuse me. Almost at 7,900. Well, not really almost, but you know, get there relatively soon. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen a shiny. It's been so long. Excuse me. Sorry, I've been kind of moving through the last few encounters kind of slow. My bad. At 7,900, I'm just gonna take like a brief 5-minute break, and I'll be back to do the last 100 encounters. Oh, alright. Alright. I'm gonna take a little break. I will be back momentarily. I'll leave it in chat as well. Alright, let's wrap this up, shall we? We've got 100 encounters left. Let's do it. The fateful 8,000 encounters. All of a sudden my counter is updating a lot slower. That's very interesting. For this one, 90 left. We'll be at 8,000. Alright, 79.25. The last 75 EVs of the stream. And I don't think any of them are going to be shiny. Hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I just don't get that impression. Dude, my chair is so squeaky. It's so annoying every time I adjust. Low-key need a new one. Just keeps making little noises every time I move even a little bit. Oh, almost there. Sorry, I'm just like... Maybe doing a stream this early wasn't the best. I didn't even eat anything today. I'm just like... so fatigued. I'm just like in a freaking headspace of my own right now. I just want this to be over. Okay, we're almost there. Alright, after this we'll have 50 left. My bad. I'm back. Sorry about that. Last 50 though. Let's do it. Last 40. And if it doesn't happen in these next 40, we're gonna stream later tonight. And we're gonna get past odds, assuming that it doesn't shine in the 192 encounters after 8,000. $79, $72. Almost there, almost there. Last 25, we get to 8K. So if this EV wants to be before 8K encounters, it's got 25 more chances. Sorry. Oh, oops. 79, 79. Here we go, 21 left. Welcome back, Alex. We're ending pretty soon because I only got 20 encounters left before I hit 8K. But at least you'll be here for the last 20. Do I like Cubone and Marowak? I mean, I don't dislike them, but they're not like my favorite Pokemon by any means. I like the Alola Marowak a lot more than the normal one. I think they're just a lot cooler Pokemon than them, though. I think their backstory's pretty cool, though. Like with how Cubone wears like its dead mother's head, and that's kind of cool. Last 15. Alright, last 10 EVs. If Eevee wants to be shiny before 8,000 encounters, it's got to do it in the next 10. No, 9. Pokemon Sun and Ultra Sun are technically supposed to be some of the games that are on the harder end of Pokemon games. But Pokemon is not supposed to be hard in general, so. I will say though, I think the only real trouble I had when playing, I had Ultra Moon. Only trouble I had was getting through the freaking fire type Kahuna because I chose Rowlet, which obviously made that difficult. I don't even remember what my team was, but yeah, I remember always struggling on the fire type Kahuna because that Salazzle and the Alola Marowak were brutal, but everything else past that was fine. Alright, we got 5 more Eevees. last two. Actually, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go to 8,001 instead of 8,000. I'm going to do 501 encounters. Switch it up a little. Alright, so this is the 8,000th EV. Oh, oops, I kind of just messed everything up. Not 9,000, 8,000. There we go. It's the 8,000th EV. I'm going to do one extra encounter for good luck. This will be the last EV of the stream. Alright. Would have been cool if that one was the shiny, but alright. We're now 191 encounters away from full odds. Well, supposedly. I think the chance that I've maybe messed up a couple of these encounters, either by not counting or accidentally, like, you know, messing up the numbers somehow or something, is decent. Like, this number might be ever so slightly inaccurate, but I imagine that it is, you know, relatively accurate, probably at least within 10 of whatever the correct encounter number is. But I'm just going to say 8,000, because, I mean, yeah, that's what I have, that's what I counted. Might be ever so slightly off, but it's definitely about 8,000. Regardless, we're close to odds. We will hit odds in tonight's stream, assuming that, you know, we don't get it in 190 and so 190 or so encounters. At this point, it's really just any day now when this will shine. All right, that's all I've got. Enjoy your afternoon or morning or night or whenever you're watching this. I imagine it's afternoon for most of you.